Good morning, good afternoon, and my name is Dzaki Hanif, number 13. Good morning. My name is Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to Mr. Lamhot and Mr. Wawan. In this video, we would like to describe about Darul Islam or Indonesian Islamic Army. Before we start the video, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Dzaki Hanif, number
My name is Gamaliel Justein Agape, number 15.
My name is Loudewyk number 19.
The ETI, the Darul Islam movement, is a political movement that aims to realize the Islamic State of Indonesia. This movement has an army called the Indonesian Islamic Army, so it is commonly called Darul Islam Indonesian Islamic Army. The Darul Islam Indonesian Islamic Army rebellion was one of the most difficult rebellions facing Indonesia. The ETI in West Java. The background of rebellion. The DITI rebellion in West Java was based on Kartosuwiryo dissatisfaction with the independence of the Republic of Indonesia. At that time, Indonesia's independence was overshadowed by the presence of the Dutch who still wanted to rule over Indonesia. In really 1948, there was a meeting between S.M. Kartosuwiryo and the commander of the Laskar Sabilillah and Raden Oni Sharoni. Get information, inspiration and insights in your email. Register email. This meeting occurred because the three figures opposed the Renville Agreement. They consider the agreement does not protect the citizens of West Java. Kartosuwiryo then changed his refusal to form an Islamic state. The end of rebellion. The TNI held Operation Pagar Betis, which included people's power. Through this strategy, DITI space and territory become narrower. As a result, from day to day many DITI members surrendered to the government. On June 4, 1949, the Siliwangi Division Unit arrested Kartosuwiryo and family and bodyguards in Mount Geber, Majalaya area. Subsequently, he was sentenced to death. The end of rebellion. The TNI held Operation Pagar Betis, which included people's power. Through this strategy, DITI space and territory become narrower. As a result, from day to day many DITI members surrendered to the government. On June 4, 1949, the Siliwangi Division Unit arrested Kartosuwiryo and family and bodyguards in Mount Geber, Majalaya area. Subsequently, he was sentenced to death. Operation Pagar Betis. Operation Pagar Betis was an Indonesian military operation to the end the DITI
Darul Islam in Center Java. The background of rebellion. The emergence of the Darul Islam movement in Central Java was initiated by a change in the political situation in the Tegal Brebes area due to the signing of the Renville Agreement. In the agreement, one article states that all Indonesian troops in the Dutch occupation area must be withdrawn and placed in the territory of the Republic of Indonesia. The end of rebellion. The Central Java Darul Islam Rebellion began on August 23, 1949, which was marked by M.Fattan's pledge to join West Java's Darul Islam. The end of the Darul Islam Central Java Rebellion was in 1952 during the East Merdeka Operation, led by Lieutenant Colonel Suharto, who succeeded in crushing the Central Java Darul Islam rebels. The end of rebellion. The Central Java Darul Islam Rebellion began on August 23, 1949, which was marked Operation East Merdeka. Operation East Merdeka was an operation to suppress the Darul Islam Rebellion by Battalion 452 in Kudus and Magelang, Central Java. This operation was carried out by the Pralogo Brigade, led by Lieutenant Colonel Suharto.
DITII in Aceh. The background of rebellion. The basic reason behind the DITII rebellion in Aceh was the disappointment felt by community leaders in Aceh. At the time, Aceh province was merged into North Sumatra province, whose capital city was Medan. Settlement efforts. This resistance, driven by Daud, demanded the granting of autonomous rights to Aceh. Seeing this, the government did not remain silent. They immediately took action to stop the DITII rebellion in Aceh. The central government has two paths in efforts to resolve the rebellion, namely military and diplomatic efforts. Military operations were carried out by holding Operation 17 August and Operation Merdeka. Meanwhile, diplomacy was implemented by sending envoys to Aceh to chat with Daud Burus. After going through a long process, this problem finally ended in a peaceful way. The central government decided to grant autonomy to Aceh as a province called the Special Region of Aceh and was allowed to apply Islamic law. On December 18 to 22 in 1962, a large ceremony entitled Musyawarah Kerukunan Aceh or MKRA was held in Aceh as a sign of peace. Free Aceh movement. Even though Daud Buru and the central government had resolved the problem peacefully, other problems still resurfaced. This time, the problem was created by several former followers of Daud Buru. One of them was Hasan di Tiro. Hasan Tiro at the time saw that economic conditions and education in Aceh were weakening. On October 30, 1947, Hasan Tiro held a meeting with former DITII leaders and Acehnese youth. During the meeting, they discussed Aceh's natural resources, which had been dredged by foreign industries with the permission of the Indonesian government. Starting from this, the Free Aceh movement or GAM emerged. GAM developed for a very long time, from 1976 to 2005. GAM's resistance and its suppression efforts took tens of thousands of lives. DICII in South Sulawesi. The background of rebellion. The South Sulawesi guerrilla unit. The end of rebellion. The rebellion led by Kahar Muzakar was convicted as an act of treason and must be crushed completely. The order to crush the group came directly from the president, who was accompanied by an order to arrest its leader, Kahar Muzakar, alive or dead. However, it took a long time for the military operation to arrest Kahar Muzakar and stop the rebellion in South Sulawesi. The DICII rebellion in South Sulawesi ended with the leader being shot and killed in February 1965. The end of rebellion. The rebellion led by Kahar Muzakar was convicted as an act of treason and must be crushed completely. The order to crush the group came directly. Crackdown operation. The suppression of the DICII rebellion in South Sulawesi was carried out by carrying out Operation Tumpas, led by General M. Yusuf on February 3, 1965, which succeeded in killing the leader of the rebellion, Kahar Muzakar.
Darul the end of rebellion. The government's efforts to crush the Darul Islam rebellion in South Kalimantan were initially using the peaceful route, which was to give Ibnu Hajar the opportunity to return to the army. In the face of Ibnu Hajar's rebellion, the central government used local charismatic figures such as Seri, a former commander of Ibnu Hajar, and Idham Khalid, a politician from Nahdliyatul Ulama, or NU, as well as Ibnu Hajar's family to persuade Ibnu Hajar and his troops to lay down their weapons and make peace with the Indonesian government. However, because this peaceful path failed, the government decided to carry out a military operation. Finally, the government took the decisive action by arresting Ibnu Hajar in 1959 and sentenced to death on March 22, 1960. Military Operations Movement. The suppression was carried out by the Indonesian government holding a Military Operation Movement, or GOM, which was sent to South Kalimantan to kill the rebellion that occurred in South Kalimantan, and in 1959, Ibnu Hajar was arrested and sentenced to death on March 22, 1965. Military Operations Movement. The suppression was carried out by the Indonesian government holding a Military Operation Movement, or GOM, which was sent to South Kalimantan to kill the rebellion that occurred in South Kalimantan, and in 1959, Ibnu Hajar was arrested and sentenced to death on March 22, 1965. That's all from us. Thank you for watching our video.